They weren't the 300 who died at Thermopylae. They were the 700 who lived, only to march into a battle that would decide the fate of the free world. When Greece faced annihilation under Persia's shadow once again, these Spartans stood in the dust of Plataea, shoulder to shoulder, to finish what Leonidas began. History remembers the men who died in glory, but it forgot the warriors who avenged them. This is their story, the lost 700 Spartans who turned vengeance into victory. It's been a year since Thermopylae. The smoke from that mountain pass still haunts Greece. Leonidas and his 300 are gone, slaughtered in a hopeless stand that bought their homeland time. But the Persian Empire, led by the mighty King Xerxes, still looms. After the fiery defeat of his navy at Salamis, Xerxes fled back to Asia. Humiliated, but not defeated. He left behind a colossal army under his General Mardonius. Nearly 120,000 men, Persians, Medes, Bactrians, cavalry from India and Thrace, all to crush what remained of Greek resistance. Across the mountains of central Greece, the Spartans prepared. They had mourned Leonidas. Now they prepared to avenge him. But Greece was still divided. Thebes and much of Boeotia sided with the Persians. Athens lay in ruins, its temples burned, its people scattered. Only Sparta and a handful of free cities refused to kneel. The Persians demanded that Sparta submit, offering gold, peace, and dominion. But Spartan elders answered with silence. The message was clear. Sparta does not trade freedom for gold. So as the Persian army advanced into Attica, the Hellenic League assembled once last time. This time, the command would not go to the talkative Athenians or clever Themistocles. It would go to the land's greatest warrior state, to Sparta. Pausanias, nephew of Leonidas, a man forged in the same brutal code of honor, was appointed supreme commander. His orders: lead the allied Greek army north, meet the Persians on open ground, and end this war for once and for all. Among his ranks marched 700 Spartans, the survivors, the veterans, and the sons of those who fell at Thermopylae. Unlike the sacred 300, they were not royal guards, but full-blooded homoioi, citizen warriors of Sparta, hand-picked for vengeance. They marched north in silence, bronze flashing under the sun, the words of their mothers echoing in their ears. Come back with your shield, or on it. The road led to a wide plain near the town of Plataea. Here, between the ridges of Kathiron and the shallow Asopus River, the fate of Greece would be decided. By late August 479 BC, the two greatest armies Greece had ever seen faced one another across the dusty fields of Plataea. On one side, the Persians, a tide of silk and gold armor that glittered like sunlight on water. Their archers stood in perfect ranks, their cavalry restless and deadly, their banners rippling with symbols of Zoroastrian fire. On the other, the Greeks, a patchwork of city-states, Athens, Corinth, Megara, Tegea, and at the center, the Spartans. In total, roughly 38,000 heavily armed hoplites, supported by 70,000 light troops and helots. Pausanias took position on the right wing, the place of honor, with his 5,000 Lacedaemonians, including the 700 true Spartans. On the left, the Athenians under Aristides. Between them stretched a fragile alliance, bound only by necessity, not trust. For days neither side moved. The Persians sent envoys, promising peace and gold. Pausanias refused them all. The Greeks knew what waited if they lost: slavery, impalement, extinction. Then came the duels, champions sent forth to test the enemy's will. Among them, a Spartan named Aristodemus, the sole survivor of Thermopylae. Branded a coward for surviving when his comrades died, he fought like a man already damned. He charged alone into the Persian lines and cut down enemy after enemy until he fell. Pierced by arrows, his death finally erased his shame. The tension broke. Persian cavalry, led by the brilliant General Mardonius, began harassing Greek lines, slashing, wheeling, and vanishing like ghosts. Arrows rained down. Greek hoplites crouched behind their shields, waiting for the command to charge. Mardonius rode too close once, and that was his last mistake. An Athenian spear struck his horse. The general was dragged down and killed in the chaos. When his golden armor was stripped and paraded before the Greeks, the army roared. For the first time in months, they believed the Persians could bleed. The death of Mardonius enraged Mardonius. He pulled his massive army across the river, determined to crush the Greeks before their morale grew stronger.
Dawn broke red over the plains. The morning air carried the smell of dust and sweat. For hours, the armies stared each other down, until a Persian arrow arced across the river and struck a Greek shield. The silence shattered. Persian cavalry thundered forward, but the ground worked against them. The plain was uneven, rocky, perfect for the heavy hoplites. When the cavalry faltered, Pausanias gave the signal. The Spartan phalanx moved. Bronze shields locked, spears lowered, the 700 Spartans advanced with silent precision, a living wall of death. Arrows hissed, but the phalanx didn't slow. The Persians waited with wicker shields, their shorter spears useless once the lines clashed. The impact was brutal, a metallic roar that shook the valley. The Spartans thrust, withdrew, advanced in perfect rhythm. They fought not for land, not for gold, but for vengeance, for Leonidas, for Thermopylae. Mardonius himself led the center, surrounded by his elite immortals. He rode a white horse, shouting for his men to stand. Seeing him, Pausanias prayed aloud to Hera for victory, and charged. The two lines met again and again. Persian arrows darkened the sky. Spartan spears gleamed beneath it. Then, in the heart of the melee, a Spartan stone, hurled by a nameless warrior, struck Mardonius in the head. The great general fell, crushed under his own cavalry. The Persian line wavered. Then it broke. Panic spread through their ranks. Greek allies surged forward, cutting through the retreating enemy. Across the plain, Persian tents burned, and the once mighty army of Xerxes dissolved into chaos. By sunset, the field was silent. The Greeks had won decisively. When the dust settled, more than 40,000 Persians lay dead, including their general. The Greek losses? Barely a couple thousand. The Battle of Plataea wasn't just a victory. It was the end of the Persian invasion, the death of Xerxes' dream of conquering Greece.
Among the heroes of the day, the 700 Spartans stood tallest. They had fought like lions, calm, disciplined, unbreakable. They had avenged Leonidas, fulfilled the oracle's prophecy, and erased the humiliation of Thermopylae. For the Spartans, Plataea marked not triumph, but closure. Their revenge was complete, not through rage, but through discipline. The name of Leonidas was no longer a wound. It was a legend fulfilled. The Persian Empire retreated across the Aegean, never to return. Greece, fractured, proud, and defiant, had survived. And with that survival came something greater, the idea of the free city-state, the seed of Western civilization.
But in the shadows of victory, the 700 Spartans faded into myth. History remembered the 300 who died, not the 700 who avenged them. Their graves at Plataea still lie beneath the soil of Boeotia, unmarked and silent. Yet their legacy endures in every battle where courage faces tyranny, where discipline meets overwhelming odds. The 700 Spartans were not martyrs. They were finishers. They were the sword that struck where Thermopylae had been the shield. The 700 Spartans of Plataea didn't seek glory. They carried the weight of vengeance. They fought not for fame, but to close a wound carved at the Hot Gates a year before. Their victory didn't just save Greece, it saved the very idea of freedom. And though their names were lost to time, their silence still speaks. A reminder that some wars are not fought for survival alone, but to honor the fallen who stood before you. If you believe forgotten heroes deserve their voice back, hit like, subscribe, and join us next time as we uncover the last Spartan king and the fall of an empire built on blood.